Good morning or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are having a wonderful Friday. It's Friday today. Let's take a look at our learning target for Mission 5, Lesson 12. I can measure to find the area of rectangles with fractional side lengths. So today's actually very similar to yesterday's lesson, and we are not going to be measuring today. So I'm actually going to be giving you the side lengths, and it is your job in your Eureka notebook to find the area of those rectangles. For today's lesson, you will need your Eureka problem set, a pen or pencil, and your headphones. If you need to pause to get any of those things, please pause and get them now, and then come on back to the lesson. Our problem set is going to be on page 71 today. We're just going to be looking at two problems, and then I'm going to show you guys the exit ticket. Okay, problem number 1. In your notebooks, you should see 1A. It says, measure each rectangle to the nearest 1/4 inch with your ruler. We're not going to be doing that. And label the dimensions. Use the area model to find each area. So the dimensions of our first rectangle, please label these with me, are actually going to be, my brush is a little thick. Okay. The dimensions are going to be 2.5 inches wide long by 2 inches wide. So it's 2 by 2.5. So here's what we are going to do. On my first side, we actually don't need to split this up at all because I just have a whole number. On the second side, though, it's 2.5. And I do need to split that up. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to split it up into whole number and fraction. So my 2 goes up here and my 1/2 goes down here. Let's go back to that dark color. So I'm going to go ahead and split it into whole number and fraction. So really I only have 2 boxes here, 2 times 2 and 2 times 1/2. So I know that 2 times 2 is 4 square inches. And then 2 times 1/2 equals 2 halves, or 1 square inch. So the short answer and the quick answer for problem 1A is my area is actually going to be a simple 5 square inches. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So let's see if we can take what we've learned and apply that to a slightly more complex problem. And this is only slightly more complex. And if you break it down and you go step by step, then you should be successful in these types of problems. So the dimensions for the second problem, 1B, are, and this is a square, 1 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, since it's a square. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to label my whole number and my fraction. My whole number and my fraction. Both side lengths are 1 3/4, 1 3/4. Now I'm going to split it, whole number and fraction. So this is a little bit more challenging, but not at the start. On the inside, we have 1 square inch. Pretty easy, 1 times 1. Now over here, we have 1 times 3/4, which is 3/4 square inches. Here we have 1 times 3/4, so, 3/4 square inches. And then here at the end, we have 3/4 times 3/4, which is 9/16 square inches. So far, this has been a pretty straightforward problem, but right about here is where it's going to get slightly more challenging. I need to do 1 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 9/16. And these are all square inches. This is challenging because I have multiple fractions. I can tell that these are going to add up to be more than 1, and I don't have a common denominator. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add up all the fractions that have a common denominator. So 1 plus, let's see, 3/4 plus 3/4 is 6/4 plus 9/16. I also know that 6/4 is the same as 1 plus 1 2/4 plus 9/16. So far I have 2 plus 2/4 because I did 1 plus 1 plus 9/16. Now I need to find a common denominator. And I know that I can convert 2/4 so that the denominator is 16. And I can do that by doing 2/4 times, let's see, I'm looking for 16ths. 4 times 4, so I have to put a 4 up here. It would be 8/16. So 2 plus 8/16 plus 9/16 equals 2 17/16. This doesn't quite look right because my numerator again is greater than my denominator. So I just need to rewrite this as 2 16/16 plus 1/16. I still have my 17/16 here. And this 16/16 is actually one whole. So my answer, finally, after all that, is 3. Oh no. Control Z. Do. Try that again. 3 1/16. You're going to move on to your exit ticket now. Your exit ticket will be answered on Edpuzzle. Once you have completed the Edpuzzle, today is Friday, so please prioritize your Go Formative. If you have done that, you may work on a brochure. You may work on your resort report. If you have done all of those things, then you may go on Zern. Thanks a lot, guys. I hope you have taken something away from these lessons. Have a really nice weekend, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Monday. All right, talk to you soon.